Hey guys, hey guys, hey guys, hey guys, hey guys, hey guys. Welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Hangout with Chels podcast. It's the place for Christ, community, fellowship, and just I've been away for a month, like roughly a month. And I I was telling myself I'm gonna do a June episode, and here we are. So today's episode is titled Creating Safe Spaces in Friendships. But first of all, it's your favorite host, Chels, and if you're here for the first time, welcome. Or returning to the podcast, welcome back. I am super duper glad that you are here. I hope your time here is well spent and you can pick one or two lessons. You can find me on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Just search for Hangout with Chels. Get your wine, water, tea, juice, anything. Get something to drink. Get your earplugs and listen. So I was supposed to do a podcast episode early June, right? If I can remember, I was supposed to do 2 podcasts per month. And my friend Sheila had asked me maybe like twice or thrice if I was putting out any new episode. And I can't recall the answers I gave him, but I'm very certain that I did not give any affirmative response. So on Sunday, while listening to a homily by Father Mike Schmitz, he mentioned something, and I refer back to it in the episode. Immediately he said that thing, I jumped. I'm like, this is it. I'm going to write a newsletter. I'm just going to pour out my mind. Fast forward to 30-45 minutes later, ideas already brewing and the words already forming in my head. And I'm like, okay, maybe I should just sound these things out and do a recording of it so I don't lose my train of thought. I don't lose the ideas in my head, more like it. But I just sounded out the first sentence. I was like, nah, this is podcast material. This is podcast material. And guys, here we are. So, enough background story. Let's get into the gist. And let's get back to the homily. So the homily is titled True Surrender. And in that homily, Father Mike talked about quite a lot of things that I'm not going to go into in this episode. You can, however, find these homilies on YouTube under Sundays with Ascension or on the Hangout app if you're Catholic. Towards the end of the homily, Father Mike mentioned how people often get caught in the trap of complaining and become defined by their complaints. He referred to the teachers and the doctor's lounge. I'm not sure you understand it except you listen to the homily, but let me just try to explain. So the teachers and the doctor's lounge is where teachers and doctors gather after the day's work to catch up and all of that. And most times what that becomes is a place to trade complaints. And it hits me. I'm like, this is me. Right? He said that most times we build certain kind of relationships from all of these things. I'm like, this is me. I complain a lot. I had slowly but surely gotten into a cycle of constant complaints, and it was jarring to see myself in that light. To think that I would typically say that I'm a very optimistic person, maybe a bit of a realist, but very optimistic. And Billy, this is just an aside. Let me just get into what Father Mike said. Father Mike said that some of the relationships we have is because we mutually complain with each other. And I jumped. And I said this was the same realization I had come to a few days back. Some of the friendship that I have is from a place of shared trauma. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it makes sense to you. But this is not to say that our shared experiences, our shared pain, our shared trauma, even our shared complaints, if we can use that, right? It's not to say that all of these things cannot forge a bond or cannot forge a deep, enduring, lasting friendship, relationship, whatever you call it. But that sometimes when you take out the shared trauma or the shared complaint about a particular person or issue, there is no depth or substance to that friendship. The friendship is just going to collapse. And it's absolutely amazing to just have that kind of revelation, if I'm going to borrow that word. And just make you look at the friendships that we have and ask, what kind of friendships do we have? What exactly are we even doing in the name of friendship? I like to know my place in people's lives. I just love to know my place. And sometimes I do like mental assessments of my friendship and accept that this is my role in the friendship. This is how this person sees me and all of that. And I just adjust my mind and say, okay, this is how the friendship is going to pan out. And sometimes I accept that my role in the friendship is just for this person to be able to dump on me. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but basically it's just that for this person, I am like a safe space for them to open up to. I can't dump on them, however, because the dynamics of the friendship doesn't just work like that. And yeah, there are people that I'm okay being vulnerable with, that I can open up to, rant to, share my complaints with, right? And if you've listened to my podcast in a couple of times, you would have heard me mention Chels, Mary, and like these are my people. And I think sometimes they're tired of hearing all my complaints. I think that with some of my friends, we're finding a balance to our friendship in the sense that we can be safe spaces for each other. And I feel like maybe that's the kind of friendship we should aspire to hold space for people, hold space for the people in your life to be able to come to you and just let you know how they're feeling and know that you'll be there for them. Again, like I said, I don't mind people who come and dump on me, right? Because I've accepted that our friendship is like that and I'm fine, right? I was telling my friend Esther that sometimes I just feel like I'm a sounding board for people and it is fine. It is really, really fine. I feel like it is when there are unmet expectations that there is more to the friendship. That's where problems begin to crop up. Something Father Mike was also saying is that there is nothing like balance in terms of like having work-life balance or any other form of balance. Balance is an ongoing process, but constantly balancing, but not at balance. Sometimes you have to give more to create that balance in the immediate. Sometimes it's just a little adjustment that needs to be made. So balancing the kind of friendships that we need, or finding a balance in friendship that we need, is a delicate art. But yeah, I just need to put my thoughts together and just see. Create space for the people in your life to be able to share themselves with you. And you also be vulnerable. I think it goes both ways, right? As you're creating space for people, also be okay with sharing. I think that sometimes somebody has to be the one to take the mantle and start everything. And I think that's one thing that my friend Sylves did. That's one of the beauties of our friendship. I'm not sure I would ever have been as vulnerable with her if she hadn't been vulnerable with me first. She shared something with me and like, we're just supposed to be accountability partners. Who's saying to you? But really, sometimes just opening up in that manner just morphs into something beautiful, into one of the most amazing friendships that you're able to have. So the essence of this episode is to encourage you to create space for the people in your lives to share themselves with you, and you to, again, be vulnerable. Creating space for others and being open to sharing your feelings is key to nurturing meaningful connections. I hope these reflections help you consider the dynamics of your own friendship and the roles you play within them. Remember, creating space for meaningful connections requires both giving and receiving vulnerability. I must have mentioned this a couple of times, but just to lay emphasis, it has to be both ways. As we navigate our relationships, let's strive to be supportive, understanding, and open-hearted. By doing so, we can foster deeper, more authentic connections that enrich our lives and the lives of those we care about. Guys. Thank you for listening. If you go to the end by now, you know that you're the real deal. And until I come your way next time, let's continue to build spaces where true friendships can thrive. You're loved, my darlings, by Abba. And as always, his love makes every other love pale in comparison. Bye-bye.